Alright, so we gotta do the obvious thing. Steven Universe belongs to Rebecca Sugar and Cartoon Network. It's not mine. It's theirs. Yeah, alright. So today I'm gonna be reviewing Drop Beat Dad, guys. I told you I'd be reviewing stuff. It's a really good episode, and I won't say really good, because there's no like gym stuff in it, I guess, is why. But it's pretty decent. We do, of course, see Marty come back, and he messes up everything, because that's what he's known for doing. It kind of starts off with him seeing Greg, and Steven doesn't really like him. Like, there's one part where he gets real annoyed. Of course, he's covering his eyes from the whole glimmering thing, so it could be that. But Steven has shown to not really like Marty. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. He doesn't really show it, but I think when Greg told him the story of how him and Rose met to Steven, Steven kind of didn't like Marty in that. But yeah, Marty says he has some unfinished business to do and starts pulling out an envelope, and then he sees sour cream, and we kind of get a bit of an idea of how long he's been gone. He knows about sour cream, but we know he's been gone for over 9 years, possibly, because, you know, he said, when did you get so big, and sour cream just said 9 years ago, so he's been gone for that long of his time, for that long of sour cream's life. We don't really know when sour cream was conceived, or if Marty and Vidalia kept, you know, seeing each other after We Need to Talk. Is it We Need to Talk? No, Story for Steven, my bad. After Story for Steven, we don't know if they were seen after the, you know, after the kind of date of that. And speaking of Vidalia, she does make a reappearance. Sadly, not next to Amethyst, which I would have thought would happen while she's out dancing. I mean, if Vidalia wanted to go out dancing and they're on the beach, she could probably have gone and gotten Amethyst, who likes to hang out with Vidalia and also likes to dance. So I'm just saying. But Marty is basically acting like he's become a good person and stuff. He kind of flat out insults sour cream's equipment and what he, you know, has used to already entertain people. And then he kind of shows his bad side again when he's talking about holding people in the palm of your hand and squeezing them until their eyes pop out. Of course, gesturing to Steven while doing this. And then he also ruins sour cream's show when he supposedly tries to help out, because he just starts ruining the time by throwing what is it, the Guaco Cola or something like that. He just starts throwing that at people and making them taste it, and nobody likes it, not Steven. Ronaldo even says that it isn't even good on chips, which is, you know, it makes sense that he would actually try that. I mean, I don't already got the chips, but surprisingly, there is one person that likes it, and that's the one person that doesn't consume anything, and that is Onion. He has been known to just take food and drink and just trash it, and he drinks some of this Guaco Cola and likes it and keeps drinking it, which I think is kind of a character building type thing. So yeah. We also see kind of Steven's like increased strength in this. We know that he has had it sometimes, but it's kind of really shown in this when he's done talking about what a roadie does. He's sitting there holding sour cream's equipment in one hand, and then when he gives it to sour cream with just one hand, sour cream almost flat out smashes his fingers because the drop is so, or the thing is so heavy, his fingers almost like hit the ground. He barely catches it. And another instance is when before Marty makes him an official roadie, we see two of Marty's roadies carrying some of Marty's equipment and they're two full-grown men, and they're, like I said, it requires two of them. I said that a whole bunch, so I don't know why I had to repeat myself, but, you know. And then Steven just straight up goes and grabs one. He's only 14, if you guys remember. So he just grabs one and just starts walking away like it's nothing. And so we kind of get to see that he is a bit stronger now. Or not now, but, you know, stronger than most people, but he's probably not as strong as a Jim. And, what is it? There's something I was gonna say. Oh yeah, but, oh, okay, so when Marty ruins the show, I feel like if you were to kind of advertise something, you don't want to go out there and, like, Sour Cream is right, he did ruin the show. And I think if I were Marty, I mean, of course, Marty is a bad person, but, like, a better way to do what Marty was trying to do is to, you know, hype him up, say who it's sponsored by, then let him go up, and then maybe a little bit later start giving him drinks, so that way they hear the good music, and even if they try the bad drinks, they'll be like, well, we don't have to drink this, we still have good music, and blah blah blah. Then you got your whole advertising fill and everything. But Sour Cream gets upset with Marty for the little advertising stunt he pulled, and even talks in Yellowtail's sort of speech, whatever that is, the little murmurs that he commits. And, you know, he's kind of embarrassed that he adopted that form of speaking. But what are you know, what are you gonna do? You know, it shows that he's kind of connecting with Yellowtail. Of course, when Marty leaves, he gives Greg the envelope, and then Yellowtail comes up with all of Sour Cream's stuff and gives it to him, and he can play. And the interesting note about this is, like, after Sour Cream is playing, Greg opens the envelope and it said $10 million. And the interesting note about it is the fact that Marty, I don't think, wanted to give him the money, because he did flat out say after he gave him the envelope, which he knew contained $10 million, he said, I think he said, I am legally obligated. He was legally something. Like, by law, he had to give him that money, because, you know, we found out in the next episode, which I know of, because it was in a sneak peek that Cartoon Network released, that, what's his name, Marty turned Greg's song that he sung for the first time in front of Rose, when the last time Marty was working for Greg, he turned that song into something for, like, a burger, and since the song was Greg's, you know, Greg had to get all the money of what that made, which is the $10 million, and that's going to lead into Mr. Greg, which I will be reviewing next. And I'm looking forward to this one to see if my kind of theories are right about it. So, yeah, that's all for this review. It is like my first